Live from KBAK CBS at Bakersfield, this is Eyewitness News at 5.
Well, we are once again focusing on today's special election and the consequences it could have on the country's political landscape.
To talk more about this, let's bring in strategist Matt Klink and political science professor Nate Monroe. Matt, Professor Monroe, thank you very much for joining us tonight.
Thanks for having me.
Well, Matt, we'll start with you first. Elections are taking place across the country right now, but many believe this Prop 50 race in California is among the most important. What are your thoughts on that?
It's important in the sense that it kind of indicates what has started out to be what I would call a race to the bottom, where you already have a number of states that are heavily gerrymandered. So Texas decided to do a mid-cycle redistricting, and Governor Newsom said, I'll do you one better. I'll do one in California, and we'll net more seats, which is, okay, all well and good. It's going to result in a lawsuit after Prop 50 passes today. But ultimately, it's going to lead to redistricting battles across the United States and more heavily drawn lines that reflect the political composition of the majority in each state. So I don't know if that's what I think is good for representative democracy, but it certainly is a big win for Gavin Newsom, or appears to be a big win for Gavin Newsom tonight.
And Professor Monroe, Prop 50, as you just heard, is expected to pass, but will this likely shake up the balance of power at the Capitol?
Well, I don't think it's going to shake up the balance of power in the sense that it might. All the projections are that if the different states sort of fall the way that it looks like they'll fall, we're going to end up seeing maybe even a slight Republican gain, right? So, but what I think it does is it puts in play the possibility of bigger swings, right? Because what you're seeing when you see these redistrictings where you're moving, primarily you're moving some voters out of seats that are a little bit safe for that, and putting more seats in play, but competitive, so that the other party might take them away. So I think for now we see the status quo, but I do think that it could be long run something that we see more volatility in the Capitol and who's in control.
Yeah, certainly going to shake things up there. And Matt, from your perspective, really early on in this race, we saw a lot of money being spent from both people anti and for Prop 50. But now at this point, a lot of the anti has kind of moved out. From your perspective, has this race gone like you thought it would?
No, I thought that, and I think that the no side anticipated that they would have more money to want to run a more robust campaign. I think that the yes side just swamped them. They did a really, really good job of making this not about partisan redistricting, but against California versus Donald Trump. And when Donald Trump has a 27% popularity rate in the state of California, it makes it very, very difficult to counter that if you don't have any money to spend on television. So they just got swamped. And I give Gavin Newsom and his team credit. They ran a really strong campaign.
And Professor Monroe, there's been some speculation that this Prop 50 race will be the indicator for how the two main political parties will perform in the midterm. So what exactly are analysts looking for as a tell for what's to come in 2026?
Honestly, I think that's a bad indicator, right? I mean, I think anybody that tells you that this is, this vote in California is going to tell you something about how the broader midterms go, is talking about a crystal ball that they don't have. I mean, as Matt makes a great point, right, which is that they've made this not about sort of, normal politics. And I think the vote here is so far removed from the policies that are going to be, I think, the turning points for the wave going one way or the other in 2026. I think we're too far out to know. I think we're going to be too far out to know for most of a year.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the interesting thing with this race here. A lot of people thinking we're going to be kind of knowing everything about what's to come, but there is still a lot of uncertainty for sure. But Matt Klink and Professor Nate Monroe, thank you very much for joining us tonight.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks for having me.